Soros, known him for many, many years. And wow, as they know, I've never been the big Israel beat guy.
Oh, guys, make sure to double tap that screen and like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, guys. Appreciate the support, and wherever else you're watching, make sure to follow as well.
About globalism, the left, the communist Chinese, any country trying to control us. I'm all about our national sovereignty. But now every cliche, every trope, everything, about Israel running the U.S., running foreign policy is here. You have them saying Joe Kent is a leader of a secret neo-Nazi coup. You have Bongino calling him a disgusting, immoral coward. You have Dershowitz saying we're all Nazis and we all need to be based. And you've got the head of the ADL saying we need to blow up Americans with pagers and do the same tactics to shut them down in an 8-front war. We all wondered 6 months ago what Netanyahu meant by 8-front war against Americans. So Israel not only has control of our foreign policy, they now want control of our domestic policy to protect that policy. And I am sitting here watching this so we get the Democrats out of power. Trump does a bunch of good getting us out of the carbon taxes, securing the border, all these wonderful things, banning men and women's sports. And then about 6 months ago, gets rid of Elon Musk, stops Doge, slows down the anti-corruption, and then just starts turning into Lindsey Graham in front of me. And Lindsey Graham's like,
nah, bro started turning into a real corporatist. Like, he started doing stuff that was good for the corporate agenda. And I was just like, hey, yo, what in God's name are you doing? Like, hold on. What do you mean 50-year loans to tackle affordability? Like, what are you talking about? Like, hold on. Like, what do you mean you was trying to get the loan companies to start attacking Americans' paychecks during an affordability crisis? Bro, what the fuck was that? It's like, I'm be real with you. Like, Trump was supposed to be a guy who was fighting these corporations and making them bring their jobs back to damn near giving them what they want. And I'm just like, whoa. We're going in a different direction here. And I trust me, I'm the person who believed in Trump's tariffs because I believe in bringing manufacturing back to America through actually punishing these guys for taking business outside of America. That's a great idea. But what's not a great idea is allowing these guys to take advantage of H-1B visas and allowing the farmers to also still use undocumented immigrants to run the farms. I'm like, are we serious about this immigration agenda of stopping it or not? Like, yeah.
You bring up farmers, and I brought up subsidies. If we allowed farmers to actually set the price for their commodities instead of subsidizing them, maybe we'd be doing a pretty good job. And they're still overproducing. But yet again, it's because they can still borrow against their land these loans and these loans and these loans. And then because if you look into it, it's fucking wild how deep it goes. But we could do a whole show just on
that. All right.
Like I said, I could take you down so many rabbit holes of government policy that would rock your world and show you all the documents that back it up. Like, if you really deep dive into policy, like I respect what you do with the pundits and everybody, and this is actually where I get my media. I don't really watch any of these people anymore because it's like I'm so tired of the narratives. It's ridiculous. Let's go look at the documents. Let's go look at what the policies actually say in writing, and then come back and talk to me about how it's implemented and all this shit that they talk about on the news.
Hold on here. Hold on. Hold on. I got to read this real quick, but
hey, we got Marines going to the island. We're going to take the Strait of Hormuz. Our Marines took Iwo Jima. They can take this. Yeah, 90,000 of them and tens of thousands died, you dumbass. Yeah, he was in the military flying a chair around as a lawyer. So you look at that little Nelly candy ass. Yeah, he may be able to suck the chrome off a trailer hitch, but that's about it. Liberace up there. I mean, nothing against the fact that, he's a little light in the loafers. But the point is, if he wants to go fight the Iranians, he should do it. Where's the Trump that said if Hillary wants to go have war with Russia, she should go join the military and get a gun? They said that was a threat against her. No, it's the old saying. You want to fight this war so bad, you suit up, badass. I want Lindsey Graham to be volunteers for him. I'm saying, airborne, doesn't have to qualify. He can just jump out of one of those C-130s and just come down there. So Hodge Twins, we'll just go back and forth. But it's great to have you here. Thanks for simulcasting with me. What an insane time to be alive, gentlemen.
Yeah, and who saw this coming? I mean, when Trump said he was going to usher in the golden age, boy, he was fucking kidding or lying. I don't know what he was talking about. And not to mention, when we first started his administration, they said they was going to cut into the national deficit and all of this. And they spent over $1 trillion in the last 5 months. And now they're asking for another $200 billion to fund this illegal war in Iraq.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. I'm just like, hold on now. We're supposed to be cutting military spend. Really, I mean, we're supposed to be cutting spending all around, not just in Medicaid and Medicare, which is our two basic expenditures. So I get that. I get that argument. But if we were going to do that just to fund war, trust me, I'd have been like, oh, no, F that. Just let them have their Medicaid, and Medicare fraud if we're just going to spend it on war. I'm going to be real with you. Like, if you'd have told me, look, Seth, either Medicaid fraud or going to war, I'd have been like, look, bro, just let them have their Medicaid fraud. Let them have their fraudulent daycares, okay? Like, it's better than going to war. I'm sorry if you gave me ARB. It's like, bro, like, I'm sorry, but let's be real. We could have took that $200 billion and shut the Democrats up about rural hospitals. But we want to give it to war? Like, I can't get behind it. This is why I kind of agree with the Dems when they said, yo, we should have cut the war budget then if Trump is talking about no new wars. You want no new wars, but you're adding to the war budget? Like, what are we doing here? And he said, well, we got to build a strong military. Okay, but we're not supposed to be going into war. I mean, we could build better infrastructure. We could build a strong infrastructure. What about that? Trade a strong military for a strong infrastructure. Like, is that?
And you got to remember, Alex Jones is the dude that's always like, well, you got to look at the documents. You know, you got to look at what Trump's trying to do here. You know, you got to look at the documents. And respect to the Hodge Twins, you know, a couple of former Marines, you know, and they lived it. You know what I'm saying? They were peacetime Marines or whatever. But yet again, they volunteered and they swore an oath to the Constitution. And a lot of vets feel this way. Like, no, this is nonsense.
Exactly. But all right, let's get back to it.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Hodge.
Yeah, I don't think. Like, MAGA was supposed to be America first. Yeah. We're not getting America first. Yeah. We're getting Israel first. Yeah. This country is occupied. Yeah. Just make Israel great again because, I mean, it's almost like, I mean, he didn't do a 180. He did a 360. It's like I don't even recognize the man. He transitioned. Yeah, he did. So when they had a conversation about Joe Kent the other day, talking about, you know, he changed. Then he started, you know, deflecting, talking about the man's wife, talking about how he lost an election. He's missing a lot of context. The elections that he lost, it was in a deep blue state that he almost won. He never wanted to bring up the fact that he's a war veteran. He's went to several wars and then make the suggestion that he married a little too early after his wife was killed by ISIS. Yeah, and Trump has been married how many times? Yeah. I mean, why is he deflecting like this? Because he wants to discredit this guy. Yeah. And when you look at the facts of everything, this guy is a patriot. Yeah.
And that's a problem when it comes to the disrespect to Joe Kent. Y'all going too fucking far with it. To disrespect the death of his wife, to call him a coward and disrespect his service. I mean, to disrespect, his skill set and all that by saying, oh, he wasn't in on the briefings when that doesn't have anything to do with the intelligence he had. So I'm just like, bro, y'all trying too hard to discredit this man. Like, honestly.
Yeah. He's America first. He's the upper echelon of what I would say an American is. And then not to mention the first day of this war, they bombed an Iranian elementary schoolgirls, elementary school, the first day of this war. And they lied about that. So why would they continue to lie about that? And then when finally they have to tell the truth, they tell the truth. Yeah. I seen Trump and Hickself was standing behind him. I think he was getting off of Air Force One. Air Force One. And he was asking him about what happened. And he tried to put it on Iran. Yeah. And I could tell the body language of Pete Hickself. He knew it was a lie. Yeah. And it looked like he went to cut Trump off before Trump puts his fucking foot in his mouth again. Yeah. Because he tends to put his foot in his mouth. Yeah. He goes off script a lot. Yeah. I mean, I think the left is calling him out. Bernie Sanders said the other day he's a pathological liar. I hate to admit it, but I think Bernie Sanders is right. Yeah. You know, I'm so during this whole operation and that they did not that it was a war. Now everybody should be obvious to everybody that there's a war, but it's like from the very moment this whole operation began, it's like everybody starts attacking people in the right that was with Trump from the very beginning. I mean, a lot of people abandoned Trump and jumped on the DeSantis train. I mean, we was a couple of those guys. Then we came back to Trump. I mean, we've been Trump the entire time.
Well, let's be clear. We're now told that Mark Levin is the litmus test. He goes, this is what you must be. Mark Levin was a never Trumper. So was Ben Shapiro. So was Lindsey Graham. And then we're told we're not the original MAGA. Well, let's get this straight. I'm 1776. And I come from the old school even before that. So let's be clear. Trump didn't create me. In fact, all I got was persecution, censorship, and attacks supporting Trump. We built the launch pad for Trump. And so I've always said I'm not MAGA. I'm all for making America great again, but I precede that. I'm 1776. I'm America free and strong and anti-globalist. That's, America great. How about America free? That is what, so don't, like I'm in high school. Oh, you can't sit at the pool table
with Alex
if you don't agree with Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro with almost no listeners. They're complete jokes. And then they sit there and so my issue is this. I'm sure you've seen it, but I have seen dozens of Mark Levin and Shapiro and Alan Dershowitz, Epstein's lawyer. If I get that Dershowitz clip, I want to play it. I'm sure you've seen it, but for people that missed it, saying literally that Joe Kent, who I knew his politics, kind of a libertarian, conservative, Leventeur's wife, aid worker, interpreter, CIA probably, over there, he was blown up, killed, okay? And then he's not allowed to say, I'm against this war that killed my wife.
Literally.
And it's like, and then Bongino's calling him despicable, a coward, all of this crap. I mean, this is just insane. So here's a clip of what Dershowitz had to say.
Okay. We're seeing an attempted coup within the Republican Party by neo-Nazi fascists.
The coup already happened. It was taken over by the Israel First crowd. Make Israel great again, MAGA. I mean, bro, y'all got us. Y'all the one who committed the coup, and now you what? Hold on, bro. This is wild. This is wild, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like the abusive boyfriend that hits the girlfriend, and then the boyfriend turns around like, well, why are you abusing me? By making me hit you.
That's just, well, and it's funny. And I'm sure Alex will probably, I haven't seen this. I'm sure Alex will probably get here. This is the narrative. This is the first thing they do is they label, title, and categorize you first and say, well, you're obviously a fascist, you're obviously a neo-Nazi, and you're trying to take over the Republican Party by not agreeing with, the narrative of what it's obviously what people are programmed to do as far as putting out their narrative in the media. This is exactly the playbook that they use. Watch all the clips. They use this exact same narrative, and it's meant psychologically. It's actually a tactic that they use psychologically to influence you just by pecking at words. And as soon as they program them into you, you have a sudden influence of a thought process that directs you a certain way. This is what they do on everything.
Well, I'm just gonna say, bro, look, Dershowitz, no. You guys committed the coup on us. We didn't commit the coup on you. MAGA been anti-war. Somehow you guys worked your way in. You committed your coup, and now MAGA's pro-war. And you pretty much kicked the guys like me out. It is what it is. Y'all got it. You got it, bro. But don't sit here and gaslight us.
Led by Kemp, who is a clear neo-Nazi fascist, and then also by Tucker Carlson, by Fuentes, by Owens. We're seeing an attempt by these neo-Nazis to take over the Republican Party. Fortunately, good Republicans, headed by President Trump, are stopping it. And President Trump said, these people are not MAGA. These people are not my people. But they're trying to take over the Republican Party. And Kent blames Jews for everything. He blamed the Jews for the Iraq War. Israel was against the Iraq War. I know because I spoke to Prime Minister Sharon.
Hold on. So we're just going to pretend like, Bibi Netanyahu, one of your ex-presidents and also ex-finance ministers didn't pull up to our Congress talking about if we take out Saddam, there'll be positive reverberations throughout the Middle East. That wasn't your guy? So you're just going to sit here and lie to us? Bro.
We're fucking dumb, Seth. We're dumb. We don't remember anything past 5 seconds.
Stop the cap.
Like, bro, I know word for word. He's like, if we take out Saddam, there'll be positive reverberations throughout the Middle East. It's like, come on. This is what I'm saying. It's a constant gaslighting as if we did not watch this man say that for years. And then, of course, Iran is 2 weeks away from a bomb. It's like, come on. We've been hearing this for too long now, guys. Do I need to play the 2 weeks movie again?
He spoke to President Bush and urged him not to go into Iraq. But according to Kent, anything that was bad had to be the Jews. This has to end. The Republican Party has to disassociate itself from its fascist neo-Nazi wing, which is growing within the Republican Party, particularly among young people. And it's a real threat to America, to democracy, to American Jews, to Israel, and to American values. And we have to put an end to it now.
All right, I want to unpack that and have the Hodge Twins' big take on that. But I mean, number one, I follow all this. I can do a whole show on that. He was talking about his wife getting killed in Syria, not Iraq. I looked it up. Kent didn't say that.
Yeah.
That's just lies. Okay. So
nah, what was it? I was watching this. I was watching a debate between Cole Huseman, like, you know, Cole from the Free Press, that guy, and then there was Glenn Greenwald or something like that. And wait,
Glenn Greenwald. He's a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist. Yeah,
really?
He's a Pulitzer Prize. Glenn Greenwald is what broke WikiLeaks.
That's crazy because I watched that guy a lot. I didn't know he was that important. But
he's the one that interviewed Julia Assange and broke WikiLeaks. That's who did that story. He won a Pulitzer Prize for that.
Oh, hold on here. I need to remember what was that about?
He was talking about his wife.
Okay, yeah, he was baiting Cole, and Cole was pretty much trying to tell Glenn Greenwald that, oh, well, you know, he said that Israel was responsible for Trump's assassination. He said it in that Tucker Carlson interview. I was just like, wait, what? No, he didn't. It's like, bro, people are outright lying about what Joe Kent said in his interviews. He said Joe Kent said, damn, what was it again? He said Joe Kent literally said that Israel was responsible for the assassination on Trump at Butler County. And Joe Kent never said that, but Cole was taking that as it was fact. And Glenn called him out on it. He was like, bro, I watched the same interview. Do you think you can send that to me if he sent it? And, you know, Cole said, well, if he didn't, I'll take it out. I'll clip it out. Well, Cole released that video and he didn't clip it out. So apparently he found a clip to where Joe Kent said that. And I had to go rewatch that entire 2-hour interview, and I did not hear that. So they're lying about statements that Joe Kent have made, like, openly.
Getting killed in Syria, not
Project Mockingbird.
Yeah, exactly.
I looked it up. Kent didn't say that. That's just lies. Okay, so he's literally saying Joe Kent blames the Jews for everything. You can go look at what Joe Kent said for years, hardly nothing about Israel. So literally, because he says the intelligence assessments that were done by the other intelligence agencies said a 90% chance the middle zone fall, 100% they try to block the strait, they'll be successful. Don't do this. His own chairman of the Joint Chiefs said that. Then he has the will to resign and say, it was a pleasure to serve you, sir. I hope you'll change course. I'm doing this because I can't be morally part of it. And then within days, he leads a neo-Nazi coup. Meanwhile, we have Israel literally running our foreign policy and now coming in to run us domestically and saying they'll use pagers in an 8-front war to blow us up. I mean, this is like a Twilight Zone, Hodge Twins.
Right. Yeah. And Derwitz, he became a pathological liar overnight. Everything he pretty much said was a lie. I mean, the reason why we went into Iraq is because weapons of mass destruction. Yeah. Israel gave us that intelligence. Yeah. For him to say that Israel had nothing to do with this, it's like a slap in all of our face. Yeah. The majority of money, of our national debt is because of Israel. Brown University did a study. Is approximately $15 to $16 trillion of our national debt is funding foreign wars based on Israeli intelligence. I mean, I don't hate Jews, but I do hate the fact that we are the backbone of Israel and we support them with whatever endeavor they want to go into. Like this whole Iran war. Doesn't make any sense. They said there's an imminent threat there. There's nuclear weapons. Over a year
Real
ago,
with
back
you.
in January,
I'll be real
Operation.
with you. I'd rather support the Democrats' initiative for free health care than war in Iran. To be honest with you guys, I'd rather support that initiative than war with Iran. Actually, I mean, $6 trillion. I ain't gonna lie, bro. We could at least afford free healthcare for everybody, probably for like a couple, like 4 or 5 years. But that's a lot of money.
Well, just imagine if we used that money in actual small schoolhouses and small communities, and actually gave true skill set training facilities to the
Bro.
public.
And
Or,
a private school education to at least all inner city kids. You don't have you
I
don't got
mean,
to pay for it. It's provided for you by the country you give your money to.
right, and there's always money for war, but you can't feed the poor, right? So
Yeah.
it's kind of wild how even if you listen to Ball of Confusion, it still all applies today. All that same old school anti-war music from the 60s and 70s still applies today. Nothing has changed. It's just a different sheet of magic that people look in the mirror and see out in the outside world. Oh, we got newer technology in cars. We got phones. We got this. We got all these conveniences. We feel like we got an abundance. Yeah, but we don't have real food. We don't have real health care. Make America healthy again. Yeah, they just gave glyphosate immunity. So how does that
Yep.
help the American public? And that's for national defense that they brought it up against. So it's just where do we stand as Americans when we know that everything is unsustainable, and we're just
Bro, I'm
trudging
be real with
towards
you. The
a
whole
cliff.
Make America Healthy Again initiative, like, dog, if that was actually a real thing, bro, Pepsi should be a completely different company by now. And they should be facing a whole lot of lawsuits just for all the chemicals. Bro, a lot of these food companies, a lot of them should be changing their ways right now if the Make America Healthy Again initiative was real. But instead, it
Well,
looks like they might have just bought out that whole initiative.
well, look into it. Said who owns the food companies? It's all the tobacco companies now own the food companies.
That's true, bro. All the food companies are owned by like a handful of groups, like a handful. Like, what
Correct.
was it? I know Kellogg's, Nestle, like honestly, and those guys are up under our what was it? Man, I'm trying to remember one of the bigger ones. Pepsi's the one of the biggest ones. They own a lot.
Well, there's Kraft, Philip Morris.
Yes, thank you. Kraft, Philip Morris, Pepsi, and I'm forgetting another one. Probably somebody else can name one in the chat, but those are the big guys that damn near poison all the food that you eat today.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, let's just look into it.
Yep.
It was. They said they neutralized, obliterated. Yeah, but all of a sudden there was another imminent threat. I don't believe anything that come out of Trump's mouth or anybody in this administration because it's not adding up. Well, if you destroyed their Air Force, their Navy, and supposedly you destroyed the imminent threat of nuclear enrichment, why are we sending more troops there? Why are we trying to invade that country? It doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't think it was never an immediate threat. I think it was just a ruse to get everybody here in America on board with this stupid war. Well, it was that they used that angle. They also used the narrative, make Iran great again. Yeah. Let's free its citizens. Yeah. That stuck with a lot of boomers. Yeah. That watch Fox News. Everything's been a ploy. Yeah. And for them for Trump to label these people MAGA. Yeah. Like, for example, you, Alex, you've been like a Trump supporter since day one, and that's made you a target. Right. Right? And you had all these people come after you, and now at this point, after all your support for him, you have no access to this guy. Yeah. Yeah. Laura Loomer has access to him. Larry Loomer has access to this guy. She voted for Hillary Clinton.
Like, bro, Trump traded in like Marjorie Taylor Greene for Laura Loomer. I knew he was fucked. I was like, oh, hold on, this is not going in the right direction. And I seen it slowly happen throughout the Trump administration where the America First, the Make America Great Again guys who got Trump in there slowly start getting pushed out for the Make Israel Great Again guys, like for, Lindsey Graham, Mark Levin, Ben Shapiro. And for some reason, Thomas Massey got kicked out. Marjorie Taylor Greene got kicked out. Alex Jones getting kicked out. I mean, wait, hold on. All the guys that we were actually happy Trump was getting behind, like if Trump didn't get behind these people, he probably wouldn't have got as much votes as he did. But,
well, and that's the thing, and it's being brought up all across media now, where and bravo to Dave Smith for him taking accountability for he as a libertarian saying that he supported Trump and the administration and MAGA, and now he regrets that decision. Actually going up and debating on Piers Morgan and cooking the dude from PBD. I mean, and Dave Smith has some opinions that I don't always agree with, but I think that Dave Smith does a good job as a libertarian, saying that he's principled in being anti-war, pro a good immigration policy, and so on and so forth. Yet again, we can't get there when we have these political entities that have been there for damn near a half a century, still doing the same thing, have been bought and paid for, and just want to keep their seat at the table.
all right, let's keep it going.
And the first time Trump ran for Ben Shapiro, he voted for Hillary Clinton. But you, as a journalist, you supported him the entire time. Yeah, no access, and
Well,
you
let's be
are
clear.
never.
I mean, let's be clear.
Now you woke.
I mean, access has been offered, but my access is on air. My access is to the people. I don't want to go hang out at Mar-a-Lago or the White House now. They're not asking now. I was very happy with Elon and Doge, and we were moving so well the first 4, 5, 6 months.
Bruh.
Then it was like a record skipping, or when a car crashes, whenever stuff started to change course. And now it's so flagrant. I've just been trying to get him back on course. I think the big question is now, can that be done?
Yeah, I got to ask this question: is he compromised? Yeah, because I don't think they're pulling a ruse over Trump's eyes. I think he's either in on it or he's been blackmailed. It's either one of the two.
Hey, when did that controversy
But I don't
come
think
out?
this is a ploy. And that they're
Which one? The Florida Dems? Wait, this one?
No. The controversy of supposedly Trump was in the Epstein files as far as the Bubba comment with Clinton and him giving
Like in
oral
November?
to. And then when did the audio come out that he said, "I don't give a fuck, start a fucking war if we have to, just never let it get out"? There was some leaked audio, and everybody said that it was fake. And then when did we start seeing the shift? And then when did we go into Iran?
I don't know about that video. I'm not sure about that video, but I know there was a bit of a video slip. Like, I guess somebody took a little secret recording during one of the briefings, and yeah, like somebody said that they were going to release that entire recording about those briefings over what was being talked about during the lead up to the war with Iran. I heard those videos might get released, but I'm not sure about those other ones. I do know, what was it? The closest thing to that was when Marjorie Taylor Greene said, "Oh, well, Trump, why won't you get these guys on the Epstein files?" And he yelled at her and said, "Those are my friends." According to Marjorie Taylor Greene, of course.
Some kind of musician, Israelis and the Israel government pulling his rules over Trump. He's either in on it or he's been blackmailed, because what he's doing now is just a total about face what he had promised everybody here that they voted for him.
And it's not just this issue. They killed almost all the investigations into stuff against him. The auto pin against the voter. All of it's being killed. The investigations into weaponization against his supporters, all being killed. And so I never wanted access or like all his main orbit, all get business deals and all that stuff's going on. I've never tried to be in the establishment. I want to be the guy that's separate from it. But what I did love was, we've got Ed Martin. They've created a task force. He's got all this proof. He's going after him for all this stuff. He had the goods. He had on the auto pin. The chief of staff said, "No, state's evidence." They had a committee illegally doing it. He thought he was going to go to jail. And then Todd Blanche just killed it and removed Ed Martin. So, Trump absolutely has to be compromised. And from all my intel, it's not him. It's people very close to him. And it's very bad stuff that Epstein had. And Epstein was an Israeli operative. That's come out in the documents. It's in the emails. And also MI6 and CIA, because they're all mafia. They don't let you operate unless they're together. And that's a lot of the Trump orbit, which are former Democrats, because literally it's almost no Republicans have ever been found in this, okay? But he brought in all these Democrats, and it's them, and they've got Trump orbit screwing kids and worse. And so that's it. That's why they got him.
Makes sense because Trump is not a typical conservative Republican. He is governing like a Democrat. He's always been a Democrat.
Well,
not Alex Jones saying it though is crazy. When Alex Jones is pretty much saying, I ain't gonna lie, Trump is compromised. He's going too far off the path. None of this looks in his favor. It's looking like he might be protecting some people. He says people close to him. I mean, so how close would somebody have to be to you for you to compromise yourself? And I'm thinking family member. Because, I mean, F a business partner, F a friend, but maybe a family member I might compromise like my values a little bit on. I'm just, thinking out loud here.
He told MTG, she called me months before, and she said, oh my God, I don't know what to do. He just told me, it's going to embarrass my friends. You need to stop it. And they went up and made up that whole thing. Her poll numbers were down and she wanted to run for governor of the Senate. None of that was true. And then she was just like, whoa, I'm tapping out. Like, the Democrats want to put me in prison and you won't, and I'm not going to be part of this. And then she told me about a week before she resigned, she said, I may just resign, but don't tell anybody. I just can't be part of this. And she reminded me, she said, he's telling other people I know the same thing. He calls them up. What are you doing embarrassing my friends? I mean, if you're going to call up and say, cover this up, you just say, oh, it's old, or we can't take, or, it's national security. And come on. No, he's straight up. He's like, this is going to embarrass us and hurt the stock market. And I told everybody that, because I heard it from other people too, even before he got back in. Hey, don't expect this, because the CIA and others came to him. And then remember,
I mean, who want to invest in a company ran by pedophiles? Let's just be honest now. Like, come on.
Oh shit! Well, that goes into what I
in a company. Like, come on now. Imagine investing in a company ran by pedophiles. Like, tough.
Well, and that goes what I said earlier. There's been a trend of CEOs that have passed away in the past few years. That's kind of crazy.
The press secretary said, oh, this will hurt the stock market. You ought to be happy. It's about the stock market. So they're literally saying this.
It's like his go-to is the stock market. Even Pam Bondi during the congressional hearings, the stock market's at 50,000. I'm like, wait,
that's crazy.
What does the stock market got to do with any of this? These people are guilty. You need to bring these people to justice and get, justice for the victims. It was such a slap in the face. Yeah. When Trump said the Epstein files is a hoax. Yeah. A hoax. How can he come out and say that when he ran on that? Yeah. How can Pam Bondi says
yo, Josh, appreciate that information.
Epstein files are on my desk.
Okay.
And then he usher in influencers to hold up these empty binders with no information.
And by the way, that's why I love Elon so much. People, because he's so successful, say, oh, he must be bad. And maybe he was bad in the past, but he's made a turn. Trump's turning towards evil. Musk is just better and better. Musk said, get rid of the EV mandate, all that. And then he was not even getting government contracts. He was in there cutting all this stuff. And then he found out about Trump and Epstein and said, he's in there. There's a cover-up coming. And then he left. I mean, you got to really hand it to him.
Yeah, he said that. He said it. He tweeted, Trump is in the Epstein files. Yeah. And then that's when they had their whole spout. And then he started calling him some ugly things. And the things he says about like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Massey, calling these people traitors, and then what he's doing to Joe Kent. I was like, man, I've lost pretty much all respect for that man.
Well, let me just say this. And I'm interrupting because this is so important. We're on a lot of radio stations, not on the internet and on Rumble and on X. This is the majority view. On talk radio, people are smart, but they're thinking, well, Democrats are 10 times worse, so we just need to stick with this. And I'll be honest, I'm not a lesser evils guy, but I kind of agree with that. I think it's important to cover Trump doing bad things so he gets back on track, hopefully, and that Israel's openly saying they run us. That's terrible. But then how do you guys divide it where you still spend time on all the evil stuff Democrats are doing? Because, I mean, remember, when Trump's gone, now we got them to deal with. So it's very paradoxical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is the thing. If Trump's not the president, I don't think we're at war with Iran. Yeah. I don't think we have, 15, 16 dead soldiers right now. Yeah, we wouldn't have those 170 dead Iranians. We don't have dead Americans being shot by. We don't have $7 gas in some places. Yeah. I mean, I don't want Kamala.
Hold on now. I heard it was like, is it 11, 13 now? How many dead soldiers there are? I mean, God rest their souls. Oh, guys, let's make sure to double tap that screen and like the video, guys. Appreciate support right away. Let's get those likes up by double tapping that screen and liking the video. Let's get more people on the conversation. If you have any question, comment, jokes, or disagreements, just go ahead and super chat it in. We'll go ahead and read it out loud and engage with it.
Or Joe Biden in, but this is how much currently right now Trump is screwing everything up with these moves that he's making. Yeah, he had. I'm still a Trump supporter. I'm still a Republican. Yeah, but I'm not going to sit here and grovel at everything he does as if everything is correct. Like that poll on CNN, 100% MAGA is down with this, and then I post about it on Facebook and be like, MAGA. We're killing it. And it's like, how do you fall for CNN polls? Yeah, we just lost a couple of congressional seats. One, I think they both were in Florida. Trump carried those seats. He carried the last Republican 17 points, and Democrats took those seats. I mean, the writing's on the wall. These midterms, it's going to be catastrophic. I mean, Trump, when he won the presidency, that was like an American dream. It was the biggest comeback in American history. Yeah, after what he had to endure over the last 18 years. Yeah, huge momentum. But he had American in the palm of his hand, and he's blowing it. He's blowing everything. We could have had Republicans be the next president. J.D. Vance had a great possibility of being a two-term president, but all that's gone. All that's gone. Because how is this war in Iran going to end? Yeah, and how is it going to benefit America? It doesn't. It doesn't. Thousands of soldiers are going to the Middle East. Yeah. If those deaths start going into the hundreds and thousands, the Republican Party is done for the midterms, and we're done for 2028. Yeah.
Oh, God.
And, J.D. Vance is going.
Nah, that's what I was saying too. I'm like, bro, we're sending thousands of troops over there. Oh, bro, if that shit gets over 1,000, we're cooked. And there's nothing no Republican can do to save it. I mean, especially if this war drags out by months, there's not going to be, even if we stop it in if we stopped it in 4 months, which would be terrible, by the way, it's not going to be enough time to repair the economy, to repair prices in that time. And I mean, and at that point, Trump's going to be a lame duck president, and our vote would be for not.
Well, and the narrative of a short-term problem for a long-term gain is just nonsense. We've been given that narrative before. I really appreciate the Hodge Twins' logic when they look at things, because they've never been on one side or the other. They take the majority of stuff that they agree with. They stick as being Republicans, but they do break down where their ideology is individualized versus the supposed, Republican standard of, belief system.
Yeah, that and I'll be real with you. I think one, in the will to talk to anybody, listen to both sides. And that's one thing I kind of like. I'm modeled after guys like them in a way. I'm willing to listen to both sides. I'm willing to listen to anybody. Like, bro, I will sit down with the president of the United States and have an interview, and I would sit down with the Ayatollah of Iran and have an interview. Like, that's how I would like to keep it. Always listening to both sides, no matter how extreme the other side is.
Well, you got the lunatic on your show, and I'm not a Republican and I'm not a Democrat. I'm a libertarian. So, and yet again, I really appreciate you having me on, and I like the dialogue.
Hey, what can I say? Hey, bro, I appreciate your opinion, bro. I appreciate all my guys' opinions, like yours, Sid, even Monty. Even though me and him get into it a lot, I still appreciate his take on it. It's just because I don't always want to just be up here by myself and having people think that, oh, he just think he's right all the time. No, I don't. That's why I bring other people up here to either correct me or give me a different perspective that might change my opinion. All right, let's get back to the Hodge Twins.
Going to have this stain on him that nobody's going to want to even touch him. As far as Republican voters go, he's going to be the vice president. He's going to have that opportunity, and he's going to. And they're going to ask him this question when he's running for president, because he's going to be the GOP nominee for the same question they asked Kamala. Yeah, the same question they asked Kamala on The View. What would you have did different? And if he says he wouldn't have done anything different, say goodbye to J.D. Vance, say goodbye to GOP presidential office, and say goodbye to in the midterms. We're going to get ramsacked. Ramsacked? Yeah. I mean, we had everything going for us. And they're just ruining it. Like, you got Lindsey Graham up there on your screen right now. Why does this guy have access to Fox like he's in the war room with Trump? Yeah. Why is he
Because he
talking
is.
like that? Yeah. Why does he have so much pull? Why does
Well, have you
Trump
seen
not
the
talk
interviews
down
where he
to him?
says, "I promise this country we'll do this"? He talks like he's the president.
Yeah, and he lifts up Lindsey Graham, but he criticizes Joe Kent. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Does that make any sense? It's backwards. I mean, if anybody with a IQ higher than 6 knows this doesn't sound right. Lindsey Graham, he said the other day, he said instead of saying Semites, he said Seminites. He's thinking about semen when he's talking.
I'm done.
Well, we know that's about all he thinks about that in nuclear war. Vampires drink blood. Lindsey Graham drinks semen. He's on he has a carnivore diet. Lindsey Graham is on you didn't know that? Lindsey Graham is on all the way
right there.
Yeah, look at that. In fact, he probably just took Trump in the Air Force One bathroom.
Yeah, Trump's got this look on his face, man. He sucked the soul out of me.
I'm sorry. It's a joke, folks. I'm not trying to be mean.
Yeah, we joke with Republicans, right? We can make fun of our own.
Well, let me just say this. I'm going to come back and ask you guys, they're saying anybody
that's known something was up when Lindsey Graham and Mark Levin start getting a little too close to Trump. And we're like, hold on, these are the Republicans that we don't want Trump to model after. So the fact that they were getting closer, that should have been a heavy warning sign.
Against this war is a neo-Nazi coup plotter. Did you guys know you're neo-Nazi coup plotters? Because you've been listening to some of the articles. I just found out.
A black man from the South is a neo-Nazi? If you believe that, man, you got to be a moron.
We'll be right back. Stay with us. All right, now let's see if my memory serves right.
I mean, look, man, apparently you can't disagree with Trump without giving it to the Democrats. And like I said, if you're like, bro, you're telling me that I'm just supposed to let Trump, do whatever, get away with whatever, in fear of, but the Democrats? Come on now, bro. That's irrational. That's irrational. Come on.
Where's independent thought? And that's on Democrats or Republican side. Independent thought is now being crucified as you're an extremist. Well, not even that. You're just an extremist. You're a terrorist, or and it's kind of crazy that this is actually being agreed upon by both sides. And that's where we get these policies where they can invade our privacy and they can watch what we say and what we do. And, I guess in Michigan, they're starting to arrest people and put them away because I think a sheriff had somebody arrested because they made a meme about him on Facebook. And it's just wild that this is
that. Bro, literally arrested somebody over a meme on Facebook. He's like, well, can you imagine what he'd have done to me in real life? Bro, just a fucking meme on Facebook. Are you serious? You're going to say that, well, he would have committed violence against me because of a meme? I mean, aren't you kind of playing into the stereotype at this point?
Well, and it's crazy because he swore an oath to the Constitution as well, because he's a sheriff. He's an actual elected official. He's not just a police officer or a police chief or anything like that. Yeah. He's actually, elected. So it's just wild, the politics that's being involved.